We're now a year and a day since Hamas's October 7, 2023 attacks on southern Israel, in which about 1,200 Israelis died and another 250 were taken hostage. And so there are opinions all over the map. John Mearsheimer, of whom I have great respect, says that Israel's just getting deeper and deeper into a quagmire. So effectively, Israel, by fighting and not making any progress towards its goals, is losing. And then there are many analysts, such as Michael Duran from the Hudson Institute, its Middle East expert, who says that Israel is succeeding, Israel is making progress, and there is a lot of chatter online about how Israel has degraded about 50% of Hezbollah's arsenal. Is Israel winning, losing, staying the same? I think one valuable metric is look at the feet, right? The feet are the most honest part of the human body. So you can tell if someone really wants to speak to you by the direction of their feet. If their feet are pointed towards you, then they're likely interested in being engaged with you. But if their feet are pointing away from you, they want to get away from you. So that was a point in a book I read on body language, that the feet, the most honest part of the body. So I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, most Israelis who fled the south of Israel after the Hamas attacks have now returned to the south of Israel. So let's say 90% of the residents who lived near Gaza have returned. Then perhaps that would be a good metric for saying that Israel's attack on Hamas in Gaza has been 90% successful. If only 40% of Israeli residents of southern Israel near Gaza have returned, then that would be a good metric for saying that Israel's only achieved a 40% level of success. Israel has now publicly stated that within about a month, the residents of northern Israel will be able to return. So about 70,000 Israelis fled northern Israel after Hezbollah began shelling northern Israel October 8th. So if 20% of these residents return to their homes, then I think you could say that Israel's northern strategy has been 20% effective. If 50% return, then it's been 50%. Also, there's the wider question, what about Israel's best and brightest? So those Israelis with an IQ over 130, they likely have more income, more options in life, more education, and more elite skills than your average Israeli. And they likely contribute far more to the tax base and to the country overall than they take out in government services. So since October 7, 2023, of these elite Israelis with IQs over 130, right, how many have left Israel compared to how many who have moved to Israel? So my sense of things is that Israelis with IQs over 130 have left Israel more than they've arrived in Israel. And so that would be an indication that Iran's strategy of strangling Israel is winning. I would think that the Israeli who has left Israel since October 7, 2023 is more educated, has more income, has more elite skills, and is higher IQ, and has more options in life, and has a higher upside than your average Israeli. Right? Immigration, even moving out of your country, is a daunting prospect. But the higher your IQ, the more likelihood that you have the skills, the education, the social ties, social intelligence, and the resources to be able to successfully pull off a move. So Israel's economy is in trouble. Moody's gave it a dramatic downgrade in the past month. And one concrete measure of Israel's military strategy will be are more elite Israelis, right? People with IQs over 130 are more elite Jews moving back to Israel, or are they moving out of Israel? And so thousands of Israeli businesses are in trouble or bankrupt because their owners have had to serve in the Israeli reserves in Israel's many wars right now. So virtually all of the non-Haredi Israeli men between about the ages of 18 and 50 have to serve in the armed forces. Usually it's a couple of weeks a year. But in a time of war, you can be caught up for months on end where you can't tend to your business. And so there are tremendous sacrifices required to be an Israeli citizen, right? There is a vulnerability to being attacked, to being blown up, that often feels much more intense in Israel than, say, in the United States. Now, in the wake of October 7, many Israeli Jews felt insecure, and many American Jews felt insecure and vulnerable for the first time. Now, that's not based on facts on the ground, right? There is not a dramatic surge in murders of Jews in the United States. Right? There's been a moderate surge in quote-unquote anti-Semitic incidents, but that can mean so many different things. I'm not sure it's particularly valuable. But every Jew who chooses to remain a Jew, right, in the wake of the Holocaust, in the wake of October 7, is willing to pay the price of the vulnerability that comes with being Jewish, along with the privileges of being Jewish. And so another measure of Israel's war strategy success is, are Jews in the diaspora more or less or equally likely to stay identifying as Jews? So right now I'm walking the mean streets of Westwood and I'm wearing a yarmulke. I am a convert to Orthodox Judaism. I'm a Zionist. And wearing a yarmulke is a signal that is costly. Right? There is a level of behavior that is expected of someone who wears a yarmulke publicly everywhere he goes. You're expected to live up, certainly publicly, to the standards of Orthodox Judaism.